Hey YouTubers, it's Sonia. I'm creating my own makeup channel because I love to look at makeup tutorials and inspirations, but a problem that I'm running into with a lot of them is that they don't necessarily work for my skin tone or for my specific eye shape. So I'm hoping that in this video it will help everyone in the same kind of similar situation, whether you have a similar skin tone to me or you don't at all. The tips and tricks that I use in this video will help everyone bring out their own personal beauty to them. What I'm going to be doing in this video is the Smokey Eye tutorial, and I'm going to show you the way that I do it. It's really quick, really easy, and I'm going to go ahead and list the products that I'm using and kind of like a little bit of a review and how much they are. So you can change it, you can swap it out, do whatever you need to. It's not too expensive, so here we go. I am going to start off with the most expensive item that I'm going to be using. It is the Naked 3 palette. It's so beautiful. It's got like those rosy goldish colors, and they look beautiful on anyone. It's the only complaint that I have with the Naked 3 palette is that there's a lot of fallout, and what that means is that when you put the eyeshadow on your eye, it falls. There's too much, and you have to put on a lot more than you would want to, and no one wants to do that with makeup because then you're just gonna have to end up keep buying and buying more. If you are on the paler side and you have not bought the Naked palette before, I would buy the first one because that kind of has the silvery, bluish, pinkish tones in it, and that's really going to bring out, if you have fairer to paler skin, that's going to bring out your color a lot more. If you're kind of fairer to the darker side, I would definitely, the second Naked palette is my favorite by far because it's just perfect consistency, nice, beautiful colors, and they last very, very long, even without primer. Speaking of primer, the next thing that I'm going to be showing you is from the e.l.f. collection. It's super duper cheap, and it lasts very long. It does a really well job. It's the e.l.f. primer. I don't know if you can see that. It works really, really well, and I like it a lot. The next thing that I'm going to show you is the Maybelline Eye Studio, and I'm going to be using this in this tutorial. It's got 4 colors in it, and it's very coppery, earthy tones. And this would work on any skin tone because it's got that silvery color, this coppery, brownie colors, and this would just look beautiful on absolutely anyone. This is about, I would say, $11. You could find this at CVS or Target. The next thing that I'm going to be showing you is the Colossal Volume Express. This mascara, I think, works super well. I know there's a lot of mixed reviews on it, but for my daily use, I don't have like any complaints. Like, it doesn't really clump up, and it allows my lashes to be a little bit more individual when you use it the right way, and it's kind of got that like thickening effect that I really like. The eyeliner that I'm going to be using is the Ultraliner Waterproof from Maybelline. It is liquid, and I know that a lot of people have trouble using liquid liner, but in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you some tricks that are really going to help you. So before I start out, I'm going to pull out my cute little mirror because I am not that talented and I need to see up close. I'm just going to take out my primer, I'm going to dab off the excess, and I'm just going to put it on my eyelid. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm not going to put too much on there, especially with this primer, just because it's so white and I don't want it to be over dominating the color that I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to take my finger, no brush, nothing, and I'm just going to spread this across the eyelid before it settles, because you're going to feel the primer kind of harden because it's going to hold your shadow. Once I've done that and it's settling, I'm going to my Naked 3 palette because this is the brush that I'm going to be using. I'm just going to take out that two-ended brush. Do you see this? It's got a fluffier side and then it's got a more angled side. And for the base of my eye, for my smoky eye, I'm going to use that fluffy side. I'm going to then put my Naked 3 away for now. And I'm going to switch over to the Maybelline Eye Studio. And I'm going to go to the third color from the left, 1, 2, 3, this really pretty coppery color. I'm going to dip my brush into that. I'm going to tap on the side because I want to get rid of that extra fallout. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to pat it across my eyelid. I'm not going to drag it because once you drag it, it's gonna move that primer, and the primer's not gonna hold your shadow, and you want your makeup to last as long as possible. Once I do that, I'm just going to do the same thing with the other eye. I'm just taking it and I'm patting it across the lid. It's a really beautiful, shimmery, kind of coppery color, and I really like this for like even fair skin because it brings out like that earthy glow, and I just love that look. So once you've found the right base color that suits your skin tone, I'm going to move on to the smoky part of this eye. Now, I know a lot of tutorials, they have like 3 different kind of colors that they use for different sections of the eye, but mine is relatively simple, and I think it works just as well, and it kind of gives you that like dangerous, sultry cat look, and I just love that look, that kind of looks can kill kind of thing. I like dramatic makeup. But this can work for a daytime use as well. So for the crease, what I'm going to do is I'm taking out that Naked 3 palette, and I'm going to Dark Side. It's the second to last color. It's kind of like a grayish color, but it's like silvery gray, and it has like a little bit of brown in it too. I'm going to take it, I'm going to again pat it because this palette has a lot of excess eyeshadow, and I'm going to take that angled side, and I'm going to start on the crease right here, and I'm just going to rub it back and forth. Now, a lot of tutorials also say that you cannot rub this back and forth because it removes the color, but in fact, this is going to darken your eye, and it's going to give your eye more of a shape. So while I'm doing this, on the top of my eye, I'm also noting that I'm only going halfway. I mean, for personal choice, you can go as far as you want to, but in my smoky eye tutorial, I do this because when you open your eye, it makes your eyes bigger. Like, you can physically, like, see, like, your eye opening up. One thing you also want to remember while doing this smoky eye is that you want to leave your eyes halfway open when you're doing your makeup so you can see how dramatic that you want it to be, how much you want to add, or if you even want to like lessen it a little bit. So while I'm doing this, I'm creating a slight V shape in the corner of my eye, and you're going to see that happen naturally. You see at the end of your eye, there's kind of like this already natural V shape, and I'm bringing it in on the top of my eyelid because this again is going to also help me with my liner when I'm putting on the liquid liner. So once I'm kind of done with this eye, I'm moving on to the next one. I'm just taking it and I'm darkening it, and I'm going halfway across the lid. You have that natural V shape that you really want to bring out because that's the beauty in everyone's eye. Is we already, even for almond or Asian eyes, you have this really pretty, like, nice V. And again, I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it a little bit across the top of the lid. And then I'm going to take this dark color again, and I'm going to flick upwards. And I'll tell you why in just a second. When you flick upwards and you're doing your liner, it's going to help with that wing effect because you're going to kind of already see, I'm going to come a little closer and show you, you're going to kind of see how easy it is to do that winged liner when you do this. So after I'm kind of halfway through with my smoky look, because I still like mine to be a little bit darker, I stop kind of halfway to do my liner because that gives me a feel for how dramatic I want this look to be. So when I move on to my liner, my Maybelline liquid eyeliner, there's a couple tips that you're going to want to remember. Once I take this out, I kind of remove the excess so it doesn't glob on my eye, and I start halfway of my eyes because it's easier to navigate. I just take it, and I need a little bit more. I take it, and I go halfway across the lid. And remember to keep your eye, if you can, halfway open because that's going to help you see how thick you need it to be or how much thinner you need it to be, and it really just makes it easier. So once I did that, I'm going to start from the corner of my eye right here, and I'm going to meet it in the middle. Once I do that, I'm going to go to the other side before I do the wing. This is just how I do it. You don't have to do it this way. I'm starting halfway through the eye, and I'm going to the end. And then I'm starting in the corner of the eye, and I'm meeting in the middle. I'm evening the lines up on both eyes. Okay, so once I've done that now, and I'm starting on my wing, I'm going to come a little bit closer for this. You can kind of see where your eye naturally lifts up, and you can also see where that eyeshadow mark is, so it makes it really, really easy to make this wing. So what I do is I just take my skin right here, and I kind of lift it up a little bit so it helps me. And I just take my liquid liner with a steady hand, and I'm just kind of flicking upwards for the little feline flick at the end of your eye. And I'm just doing the same thing to the other side. I'm taking my brush, and where my eye is naturally kind of turning upwards, I follow that line and I'm going upwards. And I'm just kind of making sure that they're even, because you want to make sure they are. And then, now that I've done this, all I need to do is add some mascara. I just take it, twist it around. One little trick that I use with mascara is that I take it to the base of my lashes, and I just kind of wiggle it up, because it gets all those little tiny hairs, and it just really helps lift my lashes. And don't forget the ends, the corners, like the very, very last lashes, because that also helps with the winged effect. And don't forget the bottom lashes, because those are important too. Sorry, I make weird faces when I put on mascara. So basically, this is your subtle smoky eye. I'll come a little bit closer so you can see better. It's defining the crease, it's opening up the eyes a little bit more, and it makes your eyes glow. So basically, you have done a smoky eye in under 10 minutes. Over here, I'm going to make a link to all the products that I use and roughly the prices that they are. Please comment, like, subscribe, give me suggestions, anything that you want to see, I'll do. Thank you so much for watching.